Hi everyone, I'm Mr. Muhammad Kamal, your science teacher. Welcome back in a new science session and a new lesson too. Today, inshallah, we are going to start with chapter 4, plants and animals. Lesson 4, what are adaptations? What are adaptations? First, what we are going to learn in today's session, in today's lesson, our learning objective, we will explore how adaptations enable organisms to survive in their environment. Today, guys, we will talk about different parts in plants and animals that help them to live in their environment. For example, we have the eagle here. It has a sharp claws and feet that help it to catch food. On the other picture, the duck, it has webbed feet that help it to swim. Now we have an experiment. You can take a screenshot for it. You can try it at home by yourself. Adaptation, the word that we are going to talk about. Adaptation is what? It's a physical feature or behavior that helps an organism to survive in its environment. That's what I mean with adaptation. Environment is what? It's everything that surrounds a living thing. Organisms with useful adaptation are more likely to survive in their environment. For example, if we have two animals in a forest and there is a tiger running behind it, which one will survive? The one that can run fast or the one that can run slow? Of course, the one that's running fast can escape from it and the other one will be eaten by the predator. A plant or animal adapted to an ecosystem may not survive in a different ecosystem. Do you think a fish can live in a desert? No, because there is no water for it to swim. Do you think a camel can live in the bottom of the ocean? Because it's not adapted there, so of course, no. Different animals can live in specific environments where they can find what they need, where they are adapted to live in. We have a picture down here. We have no-show hair and the other brown hair. One can live in a forest or in desert. The other one is adapted to live in a snowy place. The ones that live in cold places, do you think it can live in desert? Of course no, because its body is adapted to live in cold place. But because of the high temperature in desert, it will not be able to survive. And also its color. The one with a white color can be seen easily on the desert, and the one with brown color can be seen easily on a snowy environment. So even its color can help it to blend in its environment, and in that way it can protect itself from being eaten. Animals adaptation. Different animals, as I told you, they have different adaptations that help it to survive in their environment. Some adaptations, such as sharp claws, sharp beaks, and sharp teeth, help the animal to get food. Just like a tiger, sharp teeth, that's what help it to eat food and tear its prey. Sharp claws, like an bold eagle, that help it to get and catch its prey. And even sharp beaks help it to tear its prey into pieces so it easily can eat it. Other adaptations such as stingers, quills, smell spray, or bite or tasting flesh, they protect some animals from being eaten by predators. Stingers, like scorpion, can protect itself by stinging its predator, or even the jellyfish, they can sting to protect themselves. Quills, some animals having sharp quills, like porcupine, that can help it to protect itself from being eaten. Smell sprays like a skunk. If there's an animal get closer to a skunk, the skunk give out a bad smell. The bad smell protects the skunk from being eaten and make the other animals to go away from it. Or bite or tasting flesh like cockroaches or spiders, they have a bad tasting that help it from being eaten. And even the bright color, could you imagine that animals with bright colors like monarch butterfly or even like the poison dart frog, yes, even a clownfish, they have in a bright colors The bright color is protected from being eaten. How? They are poisonous. Animals, they realize that, wow, you are a bright colored animal, so you are poisonous. If I eat you, I will die. So even bright color, it's an adaptation that protect animals from being eaten, like poison dart frog, monarch butterfly, blue-ringed octopus, or a clownfish. We have a question here. Write a caption about an adaptation this tiger has include how they think adaptation helped the tiger survive. It's sharp teeth, protected from being eaten and help it to get food. Hibernation is also it's a behavior that helps some animals to survive a low temperature. Animals like polar bear, bats, and turtles, they go through hibernation, or even marmots, they go through hibernation. It's a behavior the animals just go into caves to protect themselves in a cold winter, so they can survive in a cold winter. Now we will talk about different animals and different adaptations they got. First one, we have the porcupine in front of you here. It has a sharp quills and it lives in grasslands and other areas. Its quills are very sharp. The quills protect the porcupine against predators. Poison dart frogs, it have bright colors. The poison dart frog is living in South America rainforest. Its bright color warns predators that it is poisonous. If you eat me, you will die. Third animal we have here is a flying gecko. It lives in the jungle forest. It has flaps of skin that help it to glide away from predators, like its slippery skin. If there is an animal try to catch it, it can glide away. Red-tailed hawk. I'm in love with hawk, my friends. It can hunt in forests and fields. It has a sharp, curved beak that can hold and tear its prey it finds. Can you see? Chameleon. Chameleon, it's most familiar one of those, I think. Chameleon, it live in desert and in tropical areas. Their long tongue can stretch to catch insects. In fact, chameleon, it's not the only adaptation they got. Also, chameleon, it can change its color to blend in with its background so it can protect itself from being eaten by other animals. Also, its eyes can move in 360 degrees to see in different ways. So if there's a predator is coming to hunt it or eat it, it can just see it easily and run away. Animal adaptation, porcupine, its adaptation is what? Sharp quills, poison darter frog, bright colors, chameleon, its long tongue, or changing color, or even eye. And right now we will talk about plant adaptations. Plants, they have many adaptations that help them survive in their environment and protect themselves and reproduce. For example, the first one we have here, it is a dandelion. Dandelion, it can what? Its seeds can fly away that help it to reproduce better in its environment, and it can grow in different places. Its seeds can go to different places where it can find enough space, nutrients, and water, sunlight too. The sundial, like a Venus's flytrap, it's a plant that can trap insects. It can catch insects and kill it, totally kill it. It have chemicals in its body and it can decay that insect to take the nutrients it needs because that plant sundial grow in a poor nutrient environment, so don't have enough nutrients. So it has to take the nutrients it needs from insects. If there's an insect stand on it, it can stick to the tentacles right here and start to decay it to take the nutrients it needs from it. Cactus. It has a waxy coating that protected from drying out, and also it have a needle-like leaves that protected from being eaten, and also to sustain the water inside its body, to keep the water inside it from drying. You even believe that roses have an adaptation like sharp thorns that protect it from being eaten also by predators. And the last picture we have here, it's called pea orchid. Pea orchid, it's a flower that looks like a pea. The adaptation help it to attract insects, which help it in pollination process. That's an example of helping in reproduction. The hairs on a stinging nettle will release a chemical that irritates skin. Explain how the adaptations might help the plant. Yes, such an adaptation help of harmful chemicals that protect the plant from being eaten. Cactus and border bush. Let's talk first about cactus. Cactus is a plant that lives in desert where the temperature is very, very high and the weather is dry too. So, and not enough water right there. Cactus, it has two adaptations. Needle-like leaf protected from drying and protected from being eaten, and also have a waxy coating, waxy stem that also can contain the water in its body from evaporating easily, and that help it to survive in high temperature in desert. Border bush, it has a seed with spikes that stick to the furry animals that brush against them. Or if you ask me, Mister, how is it even an adaptation? This adaptation help it first from being eaten, and second help it to in seed dispersal that I told you about it before, help the seeds to move from one place to another place where it can find enough space, enough water, nutrients, and sunlight, exposure to sunlight. And here, that Venus's flytrap, it can catch insects also the same way as sundew to take the nutrients it needs from it. Conclusion, we have two questions. How is cactus adapted to its habitat? Yes, its waxy stem and needle-like leaves protect it from drying out in desert. Question 9. How is a duck adapted to help it survive in its environment? A duck's feet are webbed so it can swim well. Now, my friends, we got to the end of today's session. Hope you all enjoy it and see you inshallah in the next lesson. Goodbye, everyone.